What's up, kids?
What's up?
Welcome back to Snackcast.
Yeah, man, this is fun.
Yeah, so this is
great
episode, what, 1.A? Well, we did have an intro, but yeah, we're going to dive into these. We're calling them gateway drugs, right? When you were a kid, you were told that marijuana would lead to be, a PCP or heroin addiction, right? Well, what is it in the pharma market? What is it in the over-the-counter market? And so what's on tap for today? What's our first one?
The first one I think we're doing is allergy.
Allergies.
So your allergy drugs, right? You got your antihistamines, right? You got your decongestants, right?
Yep.
And then you have your corticosteroids.
Your oral and your topical, right? Maybe you got a rash or a bug bite, or you got a runny nose or a whatever, right?
Yep.
So in doing homework on this, the interesting thing I kind of fell into was I was doing all this homework on antihistamines, right? Mm-hmm. And something clicked. I don't know if I read it or what, but it was like, okay, what is it if you take anti off? And just
histamine?
Just Google histamine, right? Well, lo and behold, it's a very natural defense of the body. It is part of your immune system. And that's when my brain kind of went, gosh, how many times have we talked about this, right? That it's not, it is a gateway drug. It's your body is trying to communicate to you, and you want to put on, what's the movie, Earmuffs, Billy? You want to put on the earmuffs and not hear the body.
Right. You don't want wife's I don't have time to be sick. I don't have
itchy eyes, runny nose, whatever.
Well, you had a story about that, right? You were like
So in college I worked at a golf course, and this golf course was fairly brand new. And so there was a lot of undeveloped real estate for houses, right? So of course we're on our utility vehicles, we're driving around, and I would take shortcuts if I wanted to get from this hole to that hole instead of going all the way down and around. And man, I mean, it was like a light switch. I would go across one of these things where the grass was yay high, and 10 minutes later, eyes are starting to swell. My nose is running. So I obviously have an allergy to whatever that pollen or dirt or whatever. But in my normal life, I never get it. It's almost like I needed that extreme to set it off. And what would I do? I'd pop a bunch of Benadryls, and it would go away. And but in reality, it was my body going, hey, this isn't normal. Just like any other immune reaction, this isn't normal. I'm going to flood the system with blood. And I'm drawing blank on the other things I read about, the receptor inhibitors, whatever, right? So, yeah, it's I definitely wanted to treat the symptom because it was miserable to be that way.
Right.
Instead of just not driving through the field.
Right. So instead of and that's natural, right? You have a natural. I mean, there was I don't want to blow the solution yet, but there was obviously times in our playing baseball with kids and stuff, you'd see kids that had runny noses in springtime and everything else.
Yep.
So, allergies are natural, and your body is fighting something. I think, I don't know what kind of condition you were in back then, but, eating right.
I was felt.
Just scroll.
I really was. That was back in my, like 6'1", 160 days.
Right. So, par for the course, right? The food and drug industry is not going to, they're multi-billion, multi-trillion dollar industries, and they're not going to give you solutions to how you can either avoid these problems or fix them, right?
Sure.
So, saline nasal solutions are huge. Like, you pop a little saline, you throw it into a little tube, you flush your nose out. Huge response. You're getting that stuff, all that crap.
Sounds cheap too.
It's I don't know what the cost was anymore, but like $5 for I don't know, 400 of them. Traditional air filters, right? one I could actually swear by, and again, I don't, was it the placebo effect? Was it not the placebo effect? But I will tell you how it happened. So we had a kid on our baseball team that every February in Florida, that's our spring, right? Every February
Right.
he would step foot on the baseball field and just, he was one of the star players and he couldn't even play. His mom got him into a Nate acupuncturist that specialized in allergies. The kid went 3 sessions and never went back again. Like, unbelievable.
Cured.
Cured.
You're saying cured, never went
Cured.
back again.
Never went back again. Right? So I was like, yeah, whatever. Back in my know-it-all days, I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to do this. This is stupid. Lo and behold, my daughter comes down with some very significant allergies. And, we were doing all of the different drugs and everything else, the singulars and everything. And I'm like, there's got to be a different way. So we took her to her. And she was like, you need to capture the mold on the car and the pine mold and, put it in a glass bottle for me and bring it. We did, and she did all the acupuncture around that. Instantaneous. I mean, instantaneous.
Come on.
Swear. I mean, literally, I don't know. You could say it was the end of the spring season. It was at the end, and, it was already bloomed and gone and whatever else. I'm just telling you, those are 2 direct effects to acupuncture. So probiotics is another big one.
Yep.
Vitamin C, and then there's saunas, there's salt rooms. There's salt room was another really neat one. We took my daughter to a salt room for her allergies before, and she had. I would tell you that's more of a very short term. She did good for a day. And then the next day or 2 days down the road, the allergies would be back again. So it was like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about those salt rooms. I don't know much about them, but I've heard some people say that they're great, and they end up buying a big block and take it home, put it in their living room, and then I've heard stories like yours where it's like very almost placebo effect.
Right.
It's like you want it to work, and for a day you feel better, and then
right. So the problem with a lot of your, what are the side effects of all your?
So what I read, it really broke it into 2. They called them Gen 1 and Gen 2 drugs. And your Gen 1 is your Benadryl type. We've been buying
old
forever,
school stuff, right?
Your Gen 2 is your newer stuff, like Zyrtec, and the main difference, they all cause a laundry list of side effects, from constipation to urinary tract problems, blah, blah, blah. What they claim the Gen 2s don't do is cause the drowsiness side effect and the dry mouth. So really, if you want to take alcohol with your antihistamines, Gen 2 is the way to go. Because combined with Gen 1, you'll be past it.
Been there, done that. But yeah, I've read 3.5 times increases with tumors. I've seen just a laundry list of
weight gain,
stomach ulcers, osteoporosis. Right? These are the corticosteroids. Delayed growth, increased blood pressure.
Yeah, I read that.
Irritability, headaches. Right? And
but weight gain.
Right.
Who wants to take a drug that's putting it, which I would imagine if you were to analyze prescription drugs, that's probably a side effect for a lot of them.
And, like anything, we talked about this, is you really should formulate a plan with your doctor, right? Sit down with either your naturalist or your physician or both and start to formulate a plan. These things are not designed for long-term use. If you take them for long-term use, you're going to hurt yourself. Yeah. I mean, that's really, again, the theme regarding the whole series that we're doing is these symptoms are there for a reason, that you have an underlying issue. And if it's not a one-off, like I got allergies, it's a 365 off.
Yeah.
Then you better figure out the solution.
And man, sometimes it can be so basic, and I'll go back again to when I was on the golf course. If I had simply had sunglasses on and covered as I drove through there, I'd have probably been fine. But out of sheer laziness, Could have done that. You put on the old alternative
Right.
COVID mask.
Would it have worked?
It would have in that scenario, I believe.
Right, because those particles are huge
know.
versus
So-
viral particles.
So, yeah, fix the root. And if that doesn't help, experiment with medication, But obviously, we're not big fans of popping pills. So,
No. All right.
so
I think
that's it
it's
for
good.
this.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Questions, comments, concerns. Hit us at snackcast@yes.fit.
Stay moving.
See ya.